So we are so excited to be here today for our latest episode of Animated News, where we are talking about all things in the world of animation, whether it be television, streaming, or feature films. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I have three guests. I'm Rachel of Rachel's Reviews, and I have three guests with me today to talk about a whole bunch of different topics. But let's start out with Jonathan. From Jonathan North is here to talk with us.
Hey, I have a lot of fun doing these. I'm glad to be back.
Thank you. And then my friend Sol is here.
Hello, I was here for the first episode, but then I was gone from traveling, so I'm super glad I'm back and excited.
Yeah, thank you. And we're so excited, the first time on the show, of this new show, to have Hayden here.
Hello.
Yeah, thanks so much. This is so exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, this is going to be really fun. So we are going to start off with the box office. So we have three animated films currently at the box office. Teen Titans Go in 15th place, making 1.8 million for a combined for domestic total of 26 million and a total worldwide 32 million. But I mean, that sounds pretty bad, but
10 million budget. So.
Yeah, exactly. 10 million budget. I don't know, Hayden, what do you think? Do you feel like they should, I don't know, how do you feel about this?
I think they're fine.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they're losing any sleep over it. I think it's approximately what they expected.
Uh-huh.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you guys think this will, it's going to do better or worse than the My Little Pony movie?
I'm not sure on the total of Pony.
My Little Pony went through 60 million.
Okay. It's going to do worse then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the budget was less. It was 6.5 million. So.
Which is surprising.
That does actually surprise me.
Because, I don't know, just because it got much better reviews than the My Little Pony movie did.
Mm-hmm.
And it, you just think with, because I felt like the thing with ponies is that it felt like that movie was about 2 years too late, at least.
Yeah.
And so, whereas this feels so relevant.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Good point.
I think the difference is that My Little Pony has a massive online following and Teen Titans Go is near universally hated online.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know why, but I just know from what I've seen people say online that
I know a lot of people
love
the original show, and then when they turned it to Go, they absolutely hated it. So
yeah,
that's what I hear.
I used to honestly be like one of the haters of Teen Titans Go, but I've kind of mellowed out since then and just kind of accepted, okay, it's its own thing. It's not really worth getting so worked up about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And evidently Cartoon Network plays Teen Titans Go like nonstop. And I guess
I think that contributes a little bit to it, because when I remember when I was watching like Steven Universe and it would come on, I'd just be like,
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting with the news of the new live action TV show of Teen Titans, there's been a lot of attention in general over this, story. So I don't know if that helps with the box office or not. Because also the new live action is getting horrible reviews.
Yeah, that live action movie honestly makes the original cartoon look like the Avengers.
Yeah. So Hayden, did you see it? Did you see Teen Titans Go?
I did. I recently saw it actually.
What'd you think?
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I mean, I had no opinion one way or another, but it was so funny. I laughed harder than I have in a long time. I mean, since game night, I thought it was hilarious. I mean, really thought it was funny.
The last line, no spoilers, made me laugh so hard. I was dying.
Just the whole sequence where they go back in time and change all the origins. That was so funny to me.
And there was a lot of like surprisingly dark humor in that sequence.
Yeah.
That like took me by surprise. I was just like, whoa.
Jonathan, you got to see it, correct?
Yeah, I really liked it. it was better than I thought it was going to be,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
just surprisingly funny in ways that I was not expecting. I was not expecting a musical, and I thought the
What is
songs were great. They were like stuck in my head for days afterwards.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah.
if it's a musical, I might consider going because I'm all about the musicals. Like,
Yeah, it's a musical.
Yeah, I think that there's like enough for like casual comic book fans, and also like some for like the more hardcore fans.
okay.
Yeah.
So
I
like
think if you're not a comic book fan, you'll really enjoy it. But I think being a comic book fan gives you a different level of enjoyment.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you enjoy it in a different way than you would if you're just a normal movie going fan. But I think you'll still enjoy it for what
Yeah.
it is. It's a
Okay.
great parody.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, just real quick, because we've talked about Incredibles 2 quite a bit, but pretty exciting. It crossed the $1 billion mark. The highest grossing Pixar film, and am I right? That's the highest grossing animated film?
domestically, yeah.
Domestically. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Highest grossing domestically and highest worldwide for Pixar.
For Pixar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is Frozen still number one, like overall?
Mhm.
Do you think it will like surpass it?
I'm
Probably.
at least hoping it will surpass Minions.
Oh, yes.
sure, please.
And that's at the very least. I just wanted to surpass Minions, and then I'll be a happy camper.
Agreed. Agreed.
I'm
100%.
just very surprised because I expected the film to do better at the box office. I know it's doing amazing, but with the hype that has been going on for so many years and the anticipation, I honestly thought it was going to get to this point faster. I don't know why.
Huh, interesting. Well, part of the reason why might be the fact that it was the opening was delayed in some of the other markets for quite a while.
Yeah.
So
That's
that may
true.
be part of
And
the
there
reason.
was also the controversy with the flashing light scene.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
So
That was a
that might have
controversy?
contributed a little. They've recently, like, I think they have like an edited version now, and they have like warnings.
Yeah.
They put warnings in front of
Wow,
it.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I did notice that when I saw it. I was like, huh, that's a bit, you know,
Yeah.
risky.
And I know a few parents were irritated that they had a few curse words in it.
Mhm.
Didn't bother me, but I didn't even notice it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I didn't even
same.
notice that they were there.
Yeah.
But oh well. Anyway, so that's pretty exciting for Pixar. Yay, because
For
I
sure.
really enjoyed the film. So okay. Then we still have it ninth place. Incredibles was at 11th place. Ninth place, Hotel Transylvania 3. Summer Vacation made another $5.2 million last weekend, and has 146.9 million that it's made total in the domestic, and it has 383 million worldwide. So that's pretty impressive.
For sure. I actually saw that yesterday, so
What'd you
for
think?
the first time. I enjoyed it more than I expected. What I would have changed is just like they had a lot of EDM music, and I feel like if you saw the trailers, they put a lot of like Pitbull music, more like da 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 da. I expected more of that because that's like kind of the music they play at cruises, and so having this other kind of music, I feel like times it didn't match with what was happening. I don't know why. I'm very like picky with music, but that's a little thing. But yeah, I mean, I was really surprised by the amount of like innuendos. Like I felt like I was watching Shrek at points, and I was like, I'm so here for it because it makes the experience enjoyable both for kids because they don't understand it, they just see the funny music and jokes, and then for the adults they just got to enjoy this kind of different humor. And I love the way they animate the characters. It's so weird and like so like cartoony that you don't see that much with the bigger studios because it's very like, you know, unusual. And but I thought it was so entertaining to see it and like very amusing. I think I gave it like out of 10 probably like a 7.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I actually ended up seeing it twice just because I was hot and needed something to see. And I was like, I want to get out of my house. So I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's forgettable, but I still enjoyed it. So
I think I liked it more than the second one for some reason.
I definitely liked it more than the second. But
anyway. It always bothers me how little like they show the relationship between Mavis and the husband. Like they look more like friends than an actual like couple. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to our topics for the day. So we have we have new details on the Marvel Rising series. They're starting this whole YouTube campaign where people are going to be able to submit. The initiative invites middle school students to see their artistic vision come to life as they write for some of Marvel's most powerful characters. And the students will write a 3 to 5 page script based on select characters. And those scripts will be performed by the cast, and it'll be a 6-part, I think, little series on YouTube to go along with the series. So, Jonathan, what did you think of this?
I guess I don't really know much about it beyond what I've seen of the trailers. There is a 6-part series online right now. The Marvel Rising, what was the subtitle? Initiation. That was apparently we were talking about it like it was a full-on series last time, but it's apparently a mini series of shorts, and it's leading up to a film that's going to be on Disney Channel. So it's not quite what I thought it was when we were talking about it last time, but I'm still looking forward to it. I still need to see the 6-part short series, but I've seen good things online. Apparently it's great, and people are looking forward to the movie.
Well, and what do you think of this whole idea of like middle schoolers submitting scripts? That's kind of fun.
Depends on how it's used. If it's gonna like be turned into a show, that can have middling results. I know in the UK they've done similar things with Doctor Who, and the episodes that the kids submissions end up being turned into usually don't get that very good reviews. So I guess we'll see.
Interesting. Okay. Hayden, what do you think of this idea of them getting scripts?
I think that's a good like idea, like for like fueling, like inspiring like creativity. Overall, I think it's important to get kids involved in like the arts, and why not do it with something they enjoy? And it reminds me of when Tiny Toons accepted a script from younger from like fans, and they used it in an episode.
Well, and this feels like so low stakes. I mean, it's just a YouTube video, so if they're not great, like, big deal. But it be kind of fun. So let's talk about next story is Gal Gadot announced on her Twitter that she is joining Ralph Breaks the Internet. So she is going to be playing a character called Shank, and she is going to be in a game called Slaughter Race. And I actually feel I was actually kind of glad to see this, because everything I've seen so far from Wreck-It Ralph to Ralph Breaks the Internet, whatever, everything I've seen from it has been in the internet world, and I haven't really seen much that's like a game.
Well, in the first trailer we saw the one with he's giving the pancakes and the hotcakes to the
I guess that's true, that's fair. But I don't know, I was just kind of glad to see that they're going to be having some game game stuff, if that makes sense, and as opposed to websites. So I love Gal Gadot, so sure, why not?
Okay, so I have thoughts on this. Okay. So first of all, Gal Gadot, I thought everyone loved, but apparently I found out recently by a friend that she totally hates this celebrity. I'm like, why? Everyone loves her. And she told me there's this whole controversy about her politics and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's going to affect people going or not. I honestly don't know. But I thought that was interesting to like maybe like consider it. It was like, Disney putting someone so controversial. I mean, at the moment, I guess when they picked her, they didn't know. But I think when I saw this racing scene, I just thought, I don't think of any games on your phone that are like that, or on the internet, I'm sorry, or I don't know, I just feel it was very similar to maybe what we saw from the first movie. I didn't feel it was that, original or new. I don't know, I just didn't feel, and I don't know how it's gonna fit that in the plot. It didn't get me excited. I was more excited about the princesses in their in their casual clothes and kind of thing. But what do you guys think?
we'll talk about that. What were you going to say, Hayden?
Yeah. Well, this actually isn't news to me at all.
Yeah.
Because I when I went to actually the studio a few months ago, someone accidentally let it slip that she was gonna do a movie.
No way.
So I've been holding on to this for the last couple of months now, and now I don't have to do that anymore.
You're free now.
Yeah.
But what side do you come out on it? Do you like the fact that this looks more like a game, or
I'm
I'm
honestly just game for whatever they have as long as it's good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have this whole side of it where I want it to be one thing or the other. I just kind of want it to be what it is.
Jonathan, what about you?
I think it looks great. I love her character design. The game looks kind of generic, but I don't really care about that because, I mean, I like Gal Gadot, and I like the first movie, and I think that she'll be a great addition to the cast. And I don't think that, everybody thinks it's going to be completely based on the internet, but I think they're going to lean towards the games more than what the trailers are showing. I think it's one of those things where you can't trust everything you're seeing in the trailer. I think they're keeping things under wraps, and I think there'll still be some surprises beyond what we've seen in the trailer. They're leaning really heavily on the princess thing because that's what's going to get people to come to the theater. But I think there's still going to be more stuff that we don't know about yet.
I have a question, Jonathan. How big do you think her character is going to be? Is it going to be like the blonde lady in the first one? Because we have these other characters. Yas, I think is her name.
Yeah.
We'll have Vanellope. We have a lot of characters and all this other visiting stuff. How big do you think she's going to be or predict? Or what would you like at least?
I'm hoping that she'll kind of get out beyond just her game. I'm kind of hoping that, I don't know if this is the case or not, but I'm hoping that there's going to be people going from game to game instead of staying in their own game. Most of the stuff in the first movie was kind of stuck in the candy world, and I'm hoping that we're going to have a little bit of more crossover in this one.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be in it that much is my guess, but who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, also, I like how it seems to be inspired by Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
There's definitely some of that in there, which would make it the second Disney movie in a row to reference Mad Max Fury Road. The last one being the Kakamora in Moana.
Which is really strange if you think about it, because then it's not Disney, but the Lego Movie 2 is also going to reference it, which is kind of it's very strange. But anyway, there you go. So we'll talk real quick about the casual princess look. I still not crazy about the character designs in general.
Which one specific, or is it all?
Especially Cinderella, I hate. But
it's the ears.
It's the ears. I know it.
And I think Pocahontas looks really strange, but
I love her look and the way her hair goes with the wind. It's so funny.
Well, that part that's fine, but her nose looks so odd to me. But I'm fine. Whatever, it's its own thing. I'm fine with it. But I actually prefer this casual look over the traditional look. I guess I'm able to sort of separate I'm able to separate it more in my brain than when they're in the traditional costumes kind of thing. I don't know if that makes sense.
But saying also, I think it's worth mentioning that they're avatars of the princesses and not the actual princesses. They're on a Disney message board or something. They're representatives, so they're not the actual canon princesses, because they have actual kingdoms and stuff to run.
Is that a theory or
I think I saw that somewhere.
I'm pretty sure that's something they actually said, that these aren't supposed to be the princesses. They're just the online versions.
Yeah. I just love the joke when Merida is talking and they're like, "Oh, she's from the other studio." That sounds so great.
That got memes pretty great.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you guys feel about the self-referencing? It's new. It's definitely something new.
I really enjoyed the clip at D23 when I saw it. I know Rachel feels differently, but personally, I thought it was really funny.
I didn't love it. I didn't love the clip of D23, and I feel like it's a little lazy, but I'm hoping I'll like it better in the movie and context, and everything. I don't know, just something like things like when Belle says, have you been what does it say, abducted,
kidnapped or enslaved.
Enslaved, with like all the time in my life that I've spent defending that Belle is not, there's not Stockholm syndrome. I was like, ugh. And so stuff like that, I don't know, it just feels a little lazy to me.
For me, the only moment that felt out of character was when Rapunzel was saying the whole like, oh, because what's her line? You did all the work, but the guys get the what's the line that she's saying to Vanellope?
Yeah.
And then they'll go, she's one of us.
They're talking like, she says that people assume that the guys get all the credit for everything.
Exactly.
But I think she's complaining more about the people who say that the people who are supposedly feminists, but say the Disney princesses are waiting for men to save them.
Yeah,
but
I think that it's just the person who said it. I feel like out of all the Disney princesses, I like the line. I just would have picked maybe another of the princesses.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Like, of all the princesses, she's like the one who needed saving the most.
Exactly, because I don't think Rapunzel was the one that needed saving the most at all. I feel like it would have been cool, maybe, I don't know, Snow White or Cinderella, or I don't know, one of the ones that get the most hate, I would say. I don't know. That was just my
Cinderella probably would have been a good one, because I feel like the prince didn't save her. The fairy godmother saved her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just nervous about this because I don't know. Like, I feel like we get so much kind of lazy parody from animation, and I mean, I've just said I really like Teen Titans Go, so who knows, and that's superhero parody, but I just don't want Disney to go down the Illumination sort of DreamWorks comedy route, that's what makes me nervous.
I don't know. So far I'm loving it, to be honest. I mean, it's a bit weird, but I'm like, I love the Disney princess. Like, they sell so much. I mean, they're fun, and it's like there's so many like fan art and stuff like out there of the princesses and Disney bounds, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like there's a demand.
I think it's a lot less mean than a lot of like parodies
of it,
like, because Shrek tends to get like very, very mean to like Disney, and it was pretty much just made as a big ol' back at you, Disney, I hate you after.
That's
How
fair.
much more are we gonna see of the princess in the movie? Like, was there more clips in the 23 that we haven't seen? Or
I actually think it's not going to be as much as people think it is. I have a feeling it's going to be contained to maybe 2 or 3 scenes.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, but I did like this in modern clothes better. I don't know. I just like it was easier for me to kind of digest and as its own thing. As
I love Tiana's hair.
So yeah, that was fun. So all right, we'll see. We have Ben Schwartz to voice Sonic the Hedgehog in live action animation hybrid film. This cast has been pretty much, or at least a lot of it has been announced. This just, I have no interest in this at all. I must admit, I don't know. Most of these live action hybrid films are terrible, with the exception of something like Paddington or something, but I don't know. This is just not, I'm not a gamer, so this has no interest for me. I don't know. What do you got, Hayden? Do you have any interest in this?
I'll just wait, I guess, until I see more. I think the casting's a pretty good choice, so
yeah.
I think that Ben Schwartz is a good choice for Sonic, so
yeah.
Is this gonna be kind of like the Christopher Robin Paddington stuff? Like, there's gonna be like live stuff and then like CGI stuff?
Yeah, it'll be like that, but I think way different than Christopher Robin.
I just saw that today, that's why.
Okay. But yeah, it's Adam Pally, Neil McDonough, James Marsden, Tika Sumpter, Jim Carrey. So now it's starring.
I had no interest in this when I first heard about it, because like when I was a kid, there was a Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon that I loved. And I feel like if you're going to do Sonic the Hedgehog, just make an animated film.
Yeah.
So I had zero interest in this, and now I have like maybe 5% interest because I do like Ben Schwartz a lot. He was one of my favorite actors on Parks and Rec. I mean, I loved everybody on Parks and Rec, but he was hilarious as John Ralphio, and I think he's great as Dewey in the new DuckTales.
Yeah.
So I am a little more interested now, and I'll wait and see what the trailers look like when they start releasing more information. Maybe I'll be more interested when I see the trailer, but just like, I don't know, when they try and do live action hybrids, to me it just turns out badly. I'm thinking of like the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
Like, I loved the Chipmunks as a kid, and I thought the new
Smurfs.
movies were just blah.
Yogi Bear.
Yeah, the Smurfs were so bad. Yeah, do we know what studio is making this? Is it Sony?
Is by Paramount.
Oh, Paramount. Okay, Paramount.
They
Yeah.
don't do a whole lot.
No, they don't. So that should be interesting. All right. Well, okay. Then we have Fox Animation has announced that, I think we already knew that they were making a Bob's Burgers
Yeah. That was
movie.
Yeah.
And but now they've announced that they are going to be making a sequel to the Simpsons movie and a Family Guy live action hybrid film, speaking of the devil, which this really surprised me about the Simpsons, because I'm a huge diehard Simpson fan. Even now, they haven't lost me. And the thing that surprised me is because I've heard in many interviews that it was a complete nightmare making the first movie for them, and that they would not do it until it was canceled. And so that makes me wonder if with the 30th season, if they're going to finish it off with a movie. I don't know. It just, I've just heard that from a number of, on the audio commentaries and stuff like that, them say that, oh, it was a total nightmare.
Yeah, I do also remember them like kind of discussing a sequel, like I think like a few years after the first one. So like I don't remember where. I just remember hearing through the grapevine that they were considering it. So
yeah. And it could be totally different people in a different situation. Who knows? It could have nothing, but it kind of made me wonder if this was going to be a sign off to the show, because it is the 30th season coming up. I mean, this movie's not going to be till after that 30th season, but I don't know. It just seems like kind of perfect timing if they're going to, but I don't know. Are you excited for a Simpsons movie?
Yeah, sure. Honestly,
yeah,
I do quite like the first one, so I'd be interested in seeing another one. I mean, I'm probably going to see it no matter what. So
yeah. Which of these did any of these interest you, Jonathan, at all? Of these three?
Bob's Burgers.
Bob's
Yeah.
Burgers.
I've never really watched The Simpsons. I don't watch Family Guy. I don't plan to watch Family Guy. I eventually plan to watch Simpsons, but it's a huge undertaking. But I've been watching Bob's Burgers pretty much since the beginning, and I love that show, and I'm really excited for a movie.
Cool. Bob's Burger, I have never been able to get into. I've tried and tried. I don't know, it's just not my style comedy, but I get why other people like it. So that's cool. All right. Next, we have a new Flintstones series is coming next year from Warner Brothers. They have hired an Irish studio called Salty Dog Pictures, and it's called the Yabba Dabba Dinosaurs or something. And I'm just thinking this is for very little children.
yeah, it seems like it.
So, yeah.
It's kind of a pity because the first show is, I don't know, I feel like it was a bit timeless, you know? And oh my gosh, those live action movies, horrible. But I know
what live action movies, those never happened.
Never exist.
But the actual show, even though it wasn't my generation, was more like my dad's, I remember even seeing it as a kid because it was still playing, and I was like, wow, I actually really enjoyed it. So I feel like even if they put it today, I feel like even the new generation would like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah, it's
I kind of wish that they would somewhat inspire it off of the new comic book series, because that's actually pretty good, because it's like pretty like it gets like into a lot of social commentary. So
really?
It's like pretty, like the new comics based on the Flintstones are pretty good, honestly.
Interesting. Up, we have a new release date from G Kids for Mamoru Hosada's film Mirai. It had a longer title in Japan, but anyway, Mirai. This trailer looks beautiful, and we're going to be able to see it in November, so that's pretty exciting, at least for me. You looking forward to this, Aiden?
Yeah, I didn't really know much about it until today, but like looking at it, it looks very gorgeous and interesting.
Jonathan, what about you? What do you think about this?
If it comes to a theater near me, I will see it. But like most of these anime movies never reach anywhere close to me, and I'd never get a chance to see them. I thought the trailer looked great, but it's one of those things where I'm probably not looking forward to it as much because I don't think there's going to be a way for me to see it right away. So I will see it eventually. I do plan on seeing it because it does look very well animated. I never know what to expect with the stories for anime. Sometimes the stories don't hold up to the animation. I think Studio Ghibli kind of has me spoiled because I get like really great animation and a really great story, and not all anime is like that. So I'm hoping that this will kind of match that, because so far no studio seems to be able to come close to Studio Ghibli, at least about what I've seen. So we'll see. I think it looks great.
Mamoru Hosada, he hasn't really made a bad film, in my opinion. His last one wasn't as great, but it was still really solid, with Boy and the Beast. And this one, it looks really interesting. It starts out about this little kid and he got this new baby sister, and he's struggling with that. And all of a sudden he meets the older version of his big sister, of his little sister, who has come back through time, so she's now big. And it looks pretty cute, so we will see what happens there with this. But I really love Summer Wars is my favorite from Hosada, and it's pretty brilliant, so we'll see. All right, then next there's a trailer for Makia When the Promised Flower Blooms. So I wanted to have you guys watch this trailer because, full disclosure, I've seen this film and I was blown away. And I'm usually not a huge fan of fantasy, but this was just so ambitious in the world building, but at the heart is a beautiful story about motherhood and this girl becoming a mother and her journey. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was incredibly bold, and so I was just curious what you guys thought of the trailer.
I thought it looked great, but again, it's going to be one that I probably won't be able to see because I doubt any theaters near me will get it. But I'll probably see it eventually, whenever it comes out on DVD or whatever. I wish these films would get a wider release, because otherwise I can't see it. I'm in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, so it's like I don't know, they must not care enough to put it wide enough to get out to the Midwest. I don't know.
A lot of times they'll have the Fathom events, which get a little bit more, I think, spread out, where it's just for a weekend or
that's
a day.
Typically hard for me to get into also. So like there's always that like little window, and if you miss it, then you miss it. And
it's like 2 days, and like the closest it ever gets is Des Moines, which is about an hour's drive for me, and I can't really afford to drive an hour just to see a movie.
Yeah, fair enough. But just as far as the trailer, you were impressed?
Yes, I thought it looked great.
The final trailer for Smallfoot, and this comes out September 28th. And Sol, did you get to see this trailer?
Yes, I actually saw it twice between yesterday and today, because I went to the movies 2 days in a row, and they show different trailers each time. And I'm just gonna say this film really doesn't get my attention. Like, there's something charming about it, but at the same time, it's like, oh, Sony, what are you doing? Like, you'll never get to the level of the best, you know? I just feel like they're playing so safe. And something I want to mention is that they casted James Corden as the voice of the human, which at first I was like, I don't know, kind of don't feel like it fits. But something I noticed, like, James Corden has been, like, in many animated films lately, like Peter Rabbit, the Emoji Movie, and they all have something in common. They all do very bad. So I don't know about that. But I don't know why he keeps getting jobs.
Yeah, that's true. But this is not Sony, just to clarify. So this is
it's not?
No, this is Warner Animation.
It looks so much like Hotel Transylvania-ish.
It does.
I thought it was Sony too. I guess I wasn't paying it close enough attention. I just assumed it was Sony.
Well, never mind then.
No, but it is by this. It's the same team that put together Storks. It's from that company and that division and everything.
I see.
So,
which I never saw.
Oh, you didn't?
You're not missing
No,
much.
I haven't seen it.
It's fine. I liked it. I had some fun things. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This actually looks kind of sweet to me. It looks very generic.
Yeah, that was going to say, like, the whole, like, you think different from us, we're going to kick you out. It's like, how many times have we seen that?
Well, yeah, and just like it's either the human going into the monster world or the monster going into human world.
Exactly.
You know, whether like Hotel Transylvania, Monsters Inc., Ice Age, you know, like just a ton of different. We've seen that many, many times in many films. And so I don't know. I feel like it will be kind of generic, but like I don't need things to be super original for me to enjoy them. If there's like enough heart and there's enough laughs, then I can enjoy it. I think what irritates me about the trailer is just like the over reliance on the voice cast, you know. And it's like, if you have LeBron James and voicing a character in your movie, that does not make me want to go to your movie. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. So that kind of irritates me. I don't like that because it's not necessary. Like
maybe that's why I'm not as excited for this one. Maybe it's because of the voice cast, because it does feel like they're playing that up way too much.
Yeah.
Cute enough, I guess. I don't really have anything like against it.
You're such a positive person. Like that's so nice.
I've been trying lately. I've been like so. I mean, I think like recently I've been so negative my whole life that right now I'm like trying to be more positive with things, I guess.
Yeah, I feel also with like in general with trailers, and you see a lot of the internet like hating everything and being very like sensitive over everything. So yeah, it's good to sometimes just be like, you know, let's just wait till the end result and then like talk about it, you know?
Yeah. People get too hard on everything based just on a trailer or a tiny clip, and then they decide to trash it.
Yeah.
That really annoys me.
Well, I just kind of trailers are just, I don't know, they frustrate me. But but yeah, I mean, this looks pretty generic, but I feel like if it has enough heart and it has enough laughs, I could actually really enjoy it.
Could surprise us.
I like the character design too of all the different.
Yeah.
I think they like all have like nice, like interesting, like unique designs for them.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right. We had a trailer for Netflix series Next Gen, and
it's a movie. It's a full movie.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Netflix movie Next Gen. And this trailer showed so much. I feel like I've seen the whole movie. I don't need to watch this movie. I don't know. That was my only critique. It looked fine. It looked fun enough. But
I thought it looked great. I wish it was coming to theater. I would totally see this in the theater.
What did you like about it?
Just the animation and the backgrounds, the designs of all the robots. I noticed some voices in there that I really like. Just everything about it just seemed, I don't know, fresher than a lot of stuff that we're getting now in America. This is as far as I know, this is a Chinese animated film, which a lot of those don't really make it stateside, or at least like get a wide release. So I'm glad that Netflix picked it up. But if it had been a wide release, I would have totally seen this in the theater.
Cool. What did you see this, Hayden?
Yeah, yeah, it was a pretty I thought it was a solid trailer, but I agree that it showed a little too much.
Yeah. And we have a first look at the Star Wars Resistance show that's going to come out October 7th. And this looked fine to me. I mean, I've liked Star Wars animation that I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't love the style as much as the other ones I've seen, but it looked cute enough to me.
I have a question. Is one of the characters Poe? What's his name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Poe Dameron.
Oh, because I saw the Last Jedi the other day for the first time, and I was like, "Is that him in the trailer?" I don't know. The animation was a bit different, so I wasn't sure about that. I like it. I mean, the animation it's different. It's not my favorite type of animation look, but I think it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Jonathan? Do you like it?
I'm really looking forward to it. I feel the same about the first look at this as I felt about the first look at like Clone Wars and Rebels. It looks fine. It looks decent, but as with both Clone Wars and then Rebels, that's how I felt at the beginning, and then it just got better and better and better and better, and I'm expecting that this show will too. So I expect it to start out just fine, a serviceable show aimed at kids, and it probably will get a lot deeper as it goes on. So I'm looking forward to that about it.
I prefer this show maybe like hand-drawn animation.
Well, I mean,
I kind of would have preferred that they'd stuck to the style of Rebels just because that's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But I don't mind them changing direction, I guess. I mean, it's fine. I'm sure I'll warm up to it eventually. That's what I've done with the past two shows, so I expect to do it again.
Interesting. All right. Well, looks interesting. Okay, so we have a ton of news about the Disney streaming service that's come out. And so there's a lot here. But basically, we have late 2019. We will have content on the streaming service from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, The Muppets, and National Geographic. They have announced that they will have no R-rated content on this service. That'll be family friendly. The adult-oriented content will be kept on Hulu, I guess, or I'm assuming Netflix for those Netflix shows. The goal is to have it be less than Netflix, to start out smaller, and there's a ton of stuff that they've already announced.
But they've said it's not going to be as much content as Netflix.
Right. So that way it'll be less expensive, which Netflix is $7.99 to $13.99. So this will be less than that. So that's good news.
Yeah.
And you guys saw the whole list of remakes and planned things. What excites you the most out of all these lists?
I don't know if they're exciting. Some of them I'm concerned. Because, for example, the Sword in the Stone one, I don't know. I feel like is the budget for these movies are going to be the same as Netflix shows? Is it going to be less? That's what I'm worried because, I feel like this has potential to be great for the big screen, but I don't know if they're going to make them a little not as nice because of the service. What do you guys think about that?
I was kind of wondering about why exactly are they debuting these, at least those two, the live action remakes on the streaming service?
Well, to get people to join.
Especially The Sword in the Stone would be great on the big screen.
Yeah,
I feel
exactly. I understand Lady and the Tramp, because there's not a demand for it. I'm oh my gosh, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. No. But for Sword in the Stone, I can see a good bunch of people going to pay $12 to go to see this in the movie theater.
I kind of hope that they do like a simultaneous release. I know they probably won't, but I feel hasn't Netflix done simultaneous releases for a couple movies? I feel like they should at least do maybe a limited release. I don't know, because I would go see it in the theater.
Honestly, I kind of am so sick of like King Arthur type story. King Arthur. I'm like just like it's along with like Peter Pan and like and Robin Hood and King Arthur. I wish they would just kind of stop for a while.
Yeah.
Kind of just like, oh, King Arthur again.
Yeah.
Yay.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the animated Sword in the Stone.
Yeah,
I don't love it. So I don't know. That one.
It's not really one of my favorites either, but I think it has potential. I think it has potential to be one of the better live action remakes because they don't have to stick exactly to what the animated movie did, but there are things that they could take from the animated movie and expand upon and rewrite that I think have potential to look great in live action.
Yeah, and like Beauty and the Beast had so much like people comparing it to the original because it's one of the most beloved, Disney films. And in this one, I feel like people won't get as mad if it's not exactly the same because it's not as, famous.
I think Sword in the Stone is about on the par with like Pete's Dragon. So I feel like they could like significantly change it and have it be close enough that people won't care if it's changed too much. And Pete's Dragon, I think it's their best one of the live action remakes.
Oh, definitely.
I
agreed.
What?
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and
I like Maleficent. Okay, let's continue.
I'm not a fan of Maleficent, but I am just so I feel much better because I'm not a fan of these live action remakes for the most part. A couple of them I've enjoyed, but I just am so glad that I'm not going to have to see a year of trailers and publicity about how they're better than the original, and just the marketing for these live action remakes turns me into a crazy person. And I'm actually fine with them going straight to streaming. I think it's cool.
I don't think that's going to stop the marketing. I think they're still going to market them very strongly because they want to sell the streaming service. So
we won't see it in theaters as much though. It'll mostly
that's true.
Yeah, an internet thing.
It'll be way better. And anyway, and I do love Lady and the Tramp, the original, and seeing it with real life doggies.
Dogs.
And they're making some interesting casting choices. Like they're changing the character. I think it was Drax to a girl.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind at all.
There are people complaining about casting Tessa Thompson as Lady, and saying, "Oh, it's." I believe it was Grace Randolph or something, and she was like, "They're race bending." It's a dog.
It's a dog.
Dogs don't have a race. There's no dog.
How can people get upset about somebody's voice? Good grief.
They just find a way. They just do.
They're insane.
And I was just like, you realize it's a dog, right?
These projects, though, some of the ones that do excite me, I am excited about the idea of a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids remake. I think that could be really fun. I think that I'm really curious how they could remake Three Men and a Baby, because I feel like that original film has a lot of stereotyping and stuff that totally doesn't hold up. But I don't know, that's curious one. That's such a weird movie when you actually think about it.
It's haunted too. There's that ghost in the background.
Forgot about that. But the
cut out, but whatever.
But the original films all sound pretty intriguing to me. Don Quixote, Flora and Ulysses, The Paper Magician, Stargirl, which is a book I love, Togo, Timmy Failure.
Is this going to be live actions or also animation?
I'm not sure.
I don't think they've said which is which.
Don Quixote as animation would be pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, so these are all books that are popular books, so that's exciting. And High Fidelity is a planned TV series, so taking that isn't original High Fidelity rated R? No? Yes, no?
I don't even know what that is. I saw the title. And I thought it was just something they were making up. I didn't know it was based on anything.
Oh.
It's R.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to tone that down a little bit. But it's it's a fun little movie. You should watch it, Jonathan. About Stephen Frears. It's based on Nick Hornby script. And he's like the best writer, and it's got John Cusack and Jack Black is in it. It's really fun.
What's it about?
It's about this guy who owns this record store, and he makes all these like mixtapes and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's just really cute.
At least it says that there's going to be a Monster Inc. series. Do you guys think it's going to be like in the prequels time or after the prequels, like the movie kind of time? And what would you guys like to see in them?
I don't know. I'm very curious about that because that'd be the first Pixar. I mean, they've done the one-off television specials with Toy Story, but they've never done a TV show. So this is interesting.
That's true.
They did sort of do a TV show, but it wasn't really Pixar. I think it was Disney taking it. There was like a Buzz Lightyear series when I was a kid.
I remember that.
Forgot about that.
I don't remember much about it. I just remember that it existed.
I was a fan of that. I approved. But yeah.
It could be interesting.
It'd be cool to see it. I don't know if since the prequel didn't do as good, I would say. I think they probably gonna go with the movie time, the first one. What do you guys think?
Yeah. If it takes place after the movie, I can go into a whole long thing about how the events of the first movie ruined the entire economy of Metropolis, but I won't go into that right now because that's a whole other thing.
I just want to find out where is Boo? Is he ever gonna see her again? I want that. I want a Christopher Robin, but kind of movie, but with Boo.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. Like Boo grown up.
That'd be cool.
Oh, that would that would make an intriguing movie.
There have been
I would totally see that.
That people like of that someone made, and like a lot of people were convinced it was real.
Oh, really?
I saw on Twitter, and people are like, "Oh, they're going to do a Boo movie where Boo's grown up," and it's just like, that's not a real person. Not real. Sorry. Got to be the buzzkill Disney fan here.
I hadn't seen that, but if they made that, I probably would go. I would actually like that. I hadn't even considered that as an option. All I knew is that people wanted it to pick up exactly where the other movie left off.
My guess is it'll just be like Mike and Sully going into work and having shenanigans and stuff. Like I'm sure that's what it'll be.
Is it gonna be hand-drawn or CGI?
I assume CGI, but they could take the DreamWorks route.
Because, for example, for Tangled, the series, they decided to do it hand-drawn.
Yeah,
that's true. Know. That could be interesting. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, I'm kind of excited. They're going to have a High School Musical series.
I don't know. Well,
all in this together.
I'm the biggest High School Musical fan. I went to the concert. I own the board games. Number one fan right here. I have the what's it called, the Twister game, but it was
you do?
High School
Musical.
Musical.
Funny.
Yes. So I don't know how it would work, because if you don't have the original characters, like, it's not High School Musical, like, call it something else if you don't have the original characters or the same vibe.
It basically just be like, they would have like Saved by the Bell, the like
oh my god,
the new class, just kind of that same sort of thing.
I'm having flashbacks to back when Glee didn't know what to do with whether to follow the new kids or to follow the old cast or to go with the new class, and they just decided we're gonna go with both.
Wait, but aren't they making a High School Musical 4?
I don't think. I feel like
I heard about it.
They were casting it for a while.
Yeah. Has that been canceled?
Maybe they're turning it into this.
Yeah, maybe.
Instead of doing another movie.
I don't know. I mean, Disney Channel, they had a little bit of a blip with Freaky Friday, was not great. But for the most part, they've been killing it with their musicals. And so I can see why.
And do you think Kenny Ortega is going to be involved in this? because he was the guy who directed the other
Yeah.
3.
I'm sure he will at least be executive producing or something
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
Like, apparently he wasn't. Was he involved with Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure, or?
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know. We're going deep.
I'm curious. Hold on. Like, in any way, shape, or form.
So there you go. I think we covered we've been on it out. We've covered all the main stories. So that's a lot of really fun stuff. I really enjoyed talking with you guys. This is fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So let us know if you're listening. Let us know what you think of any of these stories and what you're excited for or nervous about, or what you thought of these various trailers that we mentioned. We'd love to hear what you feel about the streaming service, all that fun stuff. And that would be great. And so, where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube on Animation Geek. I have a channel where I talk about animation movies and musicals and all geeky stuff.
Great. And Jonathan, where can people find you?
I'm on YouTube and I'm on Twitter, every place usually, at John J. North. I don't have a dedicated thing on YouTube, but I'm sure it'll be linked. Great.
I will. And Hayden, where can people find you?
I will be most found on Twitter.
Great. I'll have your all those links in the description section. You can find me at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and on YouTube. So make sure to check that out. And thanks you guys very much. I really appreciate it. And let us know what y'all think, and we will talk again in a couple weeks.